Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. Today I have a treat for you guys. I'm finally getting back to work on this power hacksaw. I finally have four of the bearings that I need, so I can finally continue on with it. Today we're going to be doing some milling, some welding. Uh, Probably going to get this guy set up in its final resting place in the shop, where it's going to be doing all of its work. And making more progress on it. It's been a while. I was hoping to get this thing actually done in January. If the bearings showed up on time, I might have been able to do that, but I have a local friend who frequents the scrapyard often, and he found these. They're brand new old stock. I guess some hardware store threw them out. I ordered one set of bearings off of eBay, December 28th. They shipped them on January 7th. They didn't get here. They resent them again, I think, January 28th, and they didn't get here. No, they shipped them again February 1st, and they didn't get here. 2 sets of bearings lost in shipping. No idea why. I know that I have the right address. I gave them the right address, but oh well. Knowing how things go, they're probably going to show up today. But that's fine because it's an excuse for a good go-kart. So I'm going to get the spindle warmed up, I'm going to eat breakfast, and we're going to get milling on this thing. Well, the spindle is all warmed up. Parts clamped down real good, and I'm ready to get machining on it. So let me show you guys what exactly we're going to be doing. Right here is where these bearings will mount, 2 of them. And I want this to be very flat and parallel to this deck. This deck is going to be where, or I guess the base of the machine, you know what this is. This is where the work goes. I want those two to be very parallel to each other. And so I'm going to machine this, and then I'll machine that, and all will be good. So let's get to it. I got to use a fly cutter for this, but I'm going to be using a 2-inch end mill for all of that. And I'm going to have to reposition it whenever I am done cutting and welding and then recutting this. So let's get to it. So now that this surface has been machined, I need a place for these bearings to go. See, they're a little too wide to just kind of go on there. They're cast iron, so I can't really weld them on. And I don't want to either. I want to retain some adjustment. So, solution I've come up with, weld on some plates. Actually, weld on 2 plates. And they got to be, one of them has to be about right there, and the other one about an inch above it. Now I'm doing this on the mill so that I can weld these on, go back and surface these. I am going to be welding this right next to the mill. It's not really something I recommend. Welding near machines like this, the heat can get into them and warp them. Cast iron, people say that it does not warp, period. It can. And you really want to be careful with heat in these machines, especially higher heats that welding creates. The BBs and such, those will be repelled by cloth and other guards essentially, and the heat is going to be all out here. None of it's going to be in the machine ways or the table. None of it's going to be even. It's going to be what, 10 inches, 8 inches at least, away from everything. So I'm not too worried about it. If you are a purist and you want all your welders to stay about a 200-meter radius from any of your machine tools, your precision machine tools, you might want to look away. But this is the best way I've found to do this job. Not something I was looking forward to, but this is the best way to get it done. So we'll get it clamped up, get it welded, and we'll get it done. And now that this guy is all machined, now I got to work on that. But to do that, I need to move it this way, towards me a bunch. Machining here doesn't look terrible for what it does. I do have these lines. It was pretty coarse feed. Almost looks Blanchard ground. But it'll work. I had a mistake here. I made a mistake here. I had the cutter cutting like that. So that was the radius, but I wanted it to be up here, so I moved it. Well, there was a little corner up here that it didn't cut, so it just kind of hit it and spun, and it moved the cutter in a little bit. So it wasn't in the same plane. So I had to cut a little bit, mic the difference, sorry, and adjust, bring it in bring it in the amount that it moved, which is about 7 thousandths. But this will be good enough for my bearings. And I'm going to show you guys me moving this. I tend to not show you guys the setup uh, because it's usually pretty boring, but I think I'm going to film this one. Just let you guys see for once. See how you guys like it. So let's get to it. Well, got it moved over. Indicated it in, up and down, or up and sideways, I guess. Across these two faces, there was about 20 thousandths worth of deviation, which isn't great. I'm kind of worried about it, but I don't have a great way of tilting this guy, of taking that 20 thousandths out. As far as how parallel this surface here is with the travel of the mill, I started out at 0, and that's what I got. It maybe moved 15 thousandths across this whole surface here. Oops, sorry. Across that whole surface there. So that's pretty good. I'm going to get machining on it. Well, my first cut there didn't go so well. Let me show you. Starts off okay. Let's see. Focus. Starts off all right. Okay. Okay. That's pretty deep. So, so to fix that problem, I had to come up under here with more washers and kind of move them in more. Get it set up to where it's visually okay. Yeah, that was a lot more deviation than I was thinking it would have. I think I'm going to slap an indicator onto here to see how far out this is now. I think that 20 thou here translated to a lot more there. So, let's see. If I remember correctly, I had that pretty parallel to the or the vertical way whenever I cut these. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's pretty dang close. And hopefully it just kind of 20 thou here translated to almost a 16th of an inch there. Probably over a 16th, to be honest. So yeah, that's what that happened. Well, three things happened there that you guys didn't see. Firstly, my phone died, so stopped recording. Secondly, it was dinner time. And thirdly, 7 o'clock rolled around, and 7 o'clock is when I stop working, because after 7 o'clock you start making mistakes. This is actually day 2. This cut going in this direction, with using the x-axis, is actually part of day 2. I had to take a second pass because I didn't quite clean up everything at the very end over there, but now everything is cleaned up. It looks okay, not perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a bunch of holes in this guy for 1/2x13 hardware so I can bolt down awkward pieces. Gotta get those done, and the machining on this guy will be done after that, and then I can move on to the welding. So basically just going to be a lot of that. So alright, all 24 holes have been drilled to 27/64. All the machining is done. I was going to try to center drill here for the bearings, but I don't have the room, and I can do that while this thing is off of the mill. I don't need to use the mill to do that. Next part is going to be making some feet. Some adjustable feet for the base. These are lug nuts and wheel studs off my F100. I have a 64 F100, replaced a bunch of wheel studs on all the lug nuts. So I will use them as self-adjusting feet on this base here. So got to do a bit more grinding on there, a bit of welding on these guys, and then I'll be ready to take the hacksaw frame off the mill and start cleaning this mess up so my dog isn't walking through it all the damn time. You need to go lay down. Desiree, go lay down. Stay. So let's get welding on those. Well, now she has some adjustable feet welded on. Now I can take this thing off of the pallet jack rather than have the project kind of just sit on it as it has for the past couple of months. Now to bring this guy over to the mill. Power hacksaw is loaded up. Back to the welding area to get it welded to this base. Mill somehow looks cleaner. And now it's welded solid to the base. Now it is a complete machine frame. A base for what comes next. Now what I got to do is move it into place, sort of where it's going to go in the shop. That way it quits taking up room and I can get to cleaning. So this is where the hacksaw is going to sit, right behind the K&T mill. Well, it'll sit here at least until I can find a better place for it. Got quite a bit done actually. I mean, base has feet, it's welded to the base. Bearings have mounts, I actually have bearings, which is nice. All 24 of these holes are drilled. I just need to tap them, and I'll do that off camera. Only took 2 days, which is actually quite a bit. I should have been able to get this done in a couple of hours, but camera and mess ups, mistakes, like this one kept happening. Well, that's the end of this video, making that power hacksaw. Got a lot done on it, and finally have those bearings. So now I can actually progress. Next episodes, I'm going to be working feverishly on this thing for the next couple of weeks, getting it done. So expect more episodes. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this. I also have another project that I might be introducing to the channel. Back in October, late October, I got a 1964 Ford F100. The bed was completely rotted out of it, so I've cut it out and I'm going to be replacing it with 1/4-inch steel and boards. I'm going to be putting a truck crane on it. I'm making a new tailgate. It'll open up like barn doors instead of the traditional fold-down tailgate. Mechanically, it's in very good shape. This isn't really an automotive channel. I don't plan on doing anything really automotive, but I'm thinking maybe the tailgate might interest you with the way it's designed, and the truck crane, because it's going to be a different design. It'll be sort of like a jib crane with a hoist that moves along a beam. So, have a good day.